Wrestling has more than one royal family. Acknowledge me! And we
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads. As always, I am one half your dynamic duo Twisted alongside Brother Pyro.
What's up?
And we are talking WWE Crown Jewel. We are going to Saudi Arabia. What is this, our second time this year?
Mm-hmm.
Second time. This year, Triple H is giving us something different. We have our Crown Jewel Championships, which stated at their press conference before the show held, is not going to be an actual title. It's going to be like a Super Bowl ring.
I was going to say the title. The title itself will stay at the WWE Experience out in Riyadh.
Mm-hmm.
The winners of each match will collect a ring, much like the NBA Finals or like the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And he wants to have a really fun game of, let's see who can collect the most. So in other words, who can be the Tom Brady of the WWE?
And it's either going to be people with actual talent because it is the WWE, it is the Triple H era, or it's going to be the Pony Boy for the year. That essentially has it. It'll be the Pony Boy of the timeline.
See. The best part about that is we don't have to worry about a Pony Boy. Because
Oh,
we're in the Triple H era.
yeah, so it'll actually be people with talent. I mean, tell me when I'm wrong.
I'm not. I was helping you solidify your point.
Okay. So, starting us off, me and Brother Pyro both think we are starting off with this match. Could we be wrong? Yes, because this is just kind of how we do things. Women's Crown Jewel Championship match. Liv Morgan, the Women's World Champion, takes on the WWE Women's Champion, Nia Jax. A majority of us, all but one, we know who the odd one is out, is choosing Liv Morgan to be the one to pick up the win here, whereas Desario, no surprise to anybody, is choosing Nia Jax.
Okay, but...
His reasoning?
But...
Yes.
It's gotten to the point that I just hate Liv. Her persona sucks. Her promos are nails on a chalkboard-esque. This heel run could have been done much better, but Tiffany's going to cash in on Nia Jax.
I hope so.
So he has a valid reasoning. Speaking of Tiffy and her cash-ins, I know you didn't get a chance to watch SmackDown last night.
No, I did not.
So we open up with a segment.
Mm-hmm.
Nia Jax comes to the ring, talks about how she's going to beat Liv and she gets what she wants. She wanted to, last time she was in Saudi, what did she want? To be women's Queen of the Ring.
Yes.
She got it. SummerSlam, she wanted to be women's champion. She got it. This time is going to be no different. Liv comes out, they exchange words. Here comes Tiffany. Tiffy, my God, woman. My God, cut probably the most fire promo of her goddamn life. Me and Hex were talking about it. Because her and I were the only two who were watching at the time. So I messaged her privately. I don't know what got us more. So she comes into the ring. She's like, I don't know what you're so happy about. I still have this. I plan on cashing in. Liv, I could cash in on you. Nia starts laughing at her. She looks at Nia. I don't know what you're laughing for. I could also cash in on you. Because you know what? Quite frankly, both of you are starting to piss me off. Looks at Liv.
I just love... I know you're probably getting to it. I love this part.
I'm getting there. Looks at Liv. Stone cold face. And I don't know what took me out more. Her finally telling Nia that she pissed her off, or... So when I do cash in, if I beat you for that title, does Dom come with it? Because I could use a little dirty in my life. To quote R-Truth, I don't think that's PG. Because mind you, I'm still at work watching this. It's me, my fellow line cook, and my boss is in the back.
Mm-hmm.
We all in unison heard that said, and you heard us all just gasp and stop what we were doing. my guy is working on an order. He legit drops the fryer basket back in the fryer and just looked like...
Did I just hear that?
My boss is shredding meat for his chili. You hear him drop the tongs. And he looks over like, dude, what are you watching? I'm like, she really just took 3 men out. And mind you, 2 of us don't even watch the product. Yo, Tiffy.
That's great. But, like, I shared it into the group chat. Dominic Mysterio, his ex-girlfriend, beautiful goth woman, his current actual real-life wife, understands him and beautiful as all hell. He has a blonde, perky, little girlfriend, and you have Tiffany Stratton now wanting you. You are living everybody's dream, dude.
I put in there, my response was, dude is really out here living everyone's fantasies. Dude is legit living our best life for us.
And the fact that you get to see that every week on TV.
It pisses me off because I don't get to live it. So you know what? For the one time, I'm going to live vicariously through
Dominic
Mysterio.
I love the heel work that he has put in and the...
He is what has made her heel gimmick work.
I love just the dedication that he's actually put into the craft to be this great of a heel.
Well, you got to think about it. Dad would be rolling over in his grave.
Oh, not his actual biological dad, though. We know that. Okay. Anyways.
He don't look like his biological dad. He looked like the dad that should have won custody.
Oh, my God. Anywho, good sir. Take us into our next match.
Match number 2. Triple threat match. United States Championship on the line. L.A. Knight defends against Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. I am loving everything about these storylines. They have been absolute magic. Melo, Andrade, that best of 7 series was fire.
Yes.
Mad we didn't get a decisive winner for Game 7. But who cares? LA Knight, you may have screwed them out of their match being guest referee, which, fair warning, you did give Nick Aldis the fair warning that you really shouldn't have been out there as referee. You said screw them both, and then he made this match.
Well, there you go.
Great, this match is going to be fire.
It
Melo and Andrade cannot put on a bad match together.
No.
LA Knight has had the run of a lifetime. And again, when he's in the... And now he is successfully defended against both men in one-on-one competition. And those matches have been absolutely fire. So this triple threat match I expect to be nothing short of amazing. Going into our predictions, you and I have L.A. Knight, yeah, walking out of Saudi still United States champion. Flash and Hex are picking the man that says he don't miss, says that he is him, Carmelo Hayes. And Cauldron and Desario are taking Andrade. I like how we are actually super even on this one.
Yeah, 2, and 2. I know I added an extra 2, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Really, but still, we're like...
I think this is probably...
the most even we've ever been.
One of the most even matches, and probably one of the matches I am looking forward to the most, because I know it's going to hit at such a high level.
I can't wait for your grade on this one after this, on our post show. Like, I'm very excited for this match because, you know, with how Baby Crossroads is and being able to see bits and pieces of this, I've never missed at least one of their best of 7 series matches. When it got down to the last, I think, the 6th match and the 7th match, we did miss. But, you know, their matches have been absolutely fire.
In the words of Sheamus, when these two are in the ring, it's banger after banger after banger after banger.
Alrighty. Going into our next match, Seth Rollins takes on Bronson Reed. This more or less came about because Bronson said he wanted to make a name for himself. He wanted to be the talk of the locker room and the talk of the people that really make the decisions backstage. So what do? You attack the top person, and that at the time being Seth Rollins, just coming off of a return and a World Heavyweight Championship run. He took out Seth yet again. Seth returned and was like, yo, I want to demolish you.
He came back, took him out, cost him that last monster standing match.
Yep.
Which was kind of a disappointment, but that's not the match we're talking about.
It was very disappointing aside from the ring breaking. And the ring barely even broke.
I was saying, it didn't even all the way break.
Yeah, I know. So this match came about because Seth was like, hey, you want me at my best? Well, I have to have the biggest of challenges. So, how do you get the best out of Seth freaking Rollins?
I really love how Pierce tried to talk him out of this.
You were never going to talk Seth Rollins out of something. As he said, he's a King Slayer, he's a Beast Slayer, now he wants to be a Monster Slayer. Monster Hunter. Same difference. Gonna slay either way. Looking at our predictions, we have an odd one out.
And it's not who you think this time.
And it is not Desario.
Hi!
Brother Pyro chooses Bronson Reed to pick up the win, where everybody else is Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on your reasoning.
So, to get into my reasoning...
We have to go through...
Desario's reasoning.
Okay.
So, going Seth, unfortunately... Reed is getting a good reaction and rub lately, but needs something else to put him over the top. Seth isn't losing after just coming back. Granted, I can see that being the booking decision, but at the same time, what else does he need to really be put over the top other than top guy in the company for the last, 8 years, going over on Seth freaking Rollins? Secondly, Rollins is the type where if he knows that it's there and it makes sense, he's not unwilling to put over just about anybody. As long as it makes sense. Because he is a professional first, and wouldn't be the first time he's lost his first match coming back from an injury. This is definitely Bronson's time to shine, and I think... being in the Triple H era especially, I think we're going to see, that we're going to see him come out with this new wave. He wants to start pushing the younger talent.
Yeah.
Something Vince refused to do. Granted, I will say, Rollins is probably the definition of OG Triple H guy.
Yeah, he is.
But I think Triple H being the smart businessman that he is. Plus, then you can also build Rollins up in a light of, I failed, so now I got to figure out a way to bounce back. And win or lose,
than ever.
Win or lose, this isn't going to really affect much in his career at this point in time.
I mean, I agree with you on that. I also agree with Desario. But the one point that I also want to point out, we also don't essentially know who all goes over to Saudi. Who's the one that he helped in the last Monster Standing match that could also be a factor to help him win this one?
Braun Strowman.
Yes.
Braun Strowman has also not made the trip. And I know he hasn't made the trip for a number of personal reasons. One of them being injury, but also thank you to the knowing the whereabouts of Strowman and nobody wanting to be off of social media. Man was just spotted at a bar 2 days ago. Local bar 2 days ago. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's just kind of where my head went with looking
the
for
man
Rollins.
is still very much stateside.
It is still wild to me that we live in the same state as Braun Strowman.
Yes. Granted, I could also be wrong, and he could have booked a midnight fight or whatever. But odds are that's not what happened.
I mean,
because I know he's also rehabbing an injury that I believe is actually would have prevented him from making the trip anyway.
Well, my favorite words. We'll have to wait and see. All right, next match.
Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team Championship match.
You're in a really good mood today. You're just in an extra good mood today.
I finally de-straightened my hair. By the way,
Unstraightened.
de-straightened, unstraightened. My hair's curly again, so I'm kind of feeling good about it. Secondly, this is probably the lack of sleep giving me that extra boost of adrenaline before I inevitably crash.
Yeah, we know that's coming.
But we're not here to talk about that. And again, this is also just a match that I'm really excited about because it's 8 stupidly talented women
Okay.
going at it for something that they finally made relevant. Because holy shit, they've actually made this worth giving a damn about. It only took them God knows how long.
Yeah. All right.
So you have Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Champions against Metaphor representatives Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. I always forget Jakara's name.
It's okay. I couldn't even think of her name, which is why I wrote down Metaphor.
Makes sense. Damage Control's Kairi Sane and Io Sky. And Chelsea Green and Piper Nevin. There's no fun way to say Piper Nevin.
No.
It sucks.
It does.
For uber talented teams, this match is going to kill.
Let's get into predictions.
Getting into the predictions, myself and Flash and Cauldron have gone Metaphor. Damage Control comes from our lovely little Hex. Desario takes Chelsea and Piper for the for him saying they are the most deserving of this team. You have gone undecided. Yep,
and I'm going to stay undecided because I can see it going any way aside from in Jade and Bianca's hands.
I was going to say, I could see it really going any which way. I really don't care who wins. I just gave a name to give a name.
Like, personally,
this is one of those I just gave one to give one. I wouldn't mind seeing, again, the push of the younger talent in Metaphor, them coming up, them, like, you know, being on the come up, really strong representatives for the women's division. I feel they'd be really good at, you know, good at holding that mantle. Mm-hmm. And again, I also just don't see it being Jade and Bianca because, let's see, last time they had a match for the tag titles that involved more than just it being a traditional tag team match, the triple threat match in, at Clash of the Castle. Yep. They ended up taking an L. Granted, they weren't the ones pinned or submitted.
But still.
They still ended up dropping the titles. History and statistics are not on their side right now.
No. And that's more or less kind of the reason as to why I couldn't decide. Because I'm looking at, you know, Metaphor would be perfect. Damage Control would be perfect. Even Chelsea and Piper would be perfect because they still make themselves relevant on TV at least once a week.
And again, I think their run with the tag titles before, you know, inevitably dropping them to, I believe they dropped it to Damage Control, who then dropped it to Jade and Bianca. Mm-hmm. But, like, Piper and Chelsea did a really good job of making you remember that those titles existed and really bringing some type of prestige to them. Instead of it, here, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato. Stop.
Injury, hot potato.
But, like, they made you care.
Yeah.
Because the title didn't just bounce around.
Like it was supposed
to. Every, like, 30 seconds.
Yeah, no.
Like it had previously done. Like, they did a really good job of having a meaningful reign. So, Chelsea and Piper winning the title, I wouldn't be mad about it.
I wouldn't be mad either. Alright. Next match up, Randy Orton takes on former friend Kevin Owens. Now, this came because Kevin was seen after our last pay-per-view attacking Cody Rhodes in the parking lot. To which Randy was just kind of like, hey, dude, what the hey happened? I thought we were all cool. And then proceeded to attack Randy Orton. So, now we're here. Essentially kind of where we're at, right? I mean, I don't think I'm wrong on that. Looking at our predictions, we are more on one side than the other. Flash and Cauldron are choosing Randy, whereas the rest of us are all on Kevin's side. Brother Pyro?
One, you continue the story by giving it to Kevin. Secondly, I think Triple H had a point. He doesn't want to see, Randy re-injured.
Mm-hmm.
Owens has proven there is not a length that he isn't willing to go to be on top. This also helps solidify the story and really does give Owens that rub of Cody's next big threat.
I mean, we were waiting for it for the longest time. We were waiting for this heel turn, and now we finally got it. I love that we got it. It just feels a little late, if that's just me.
I think the timing was perfect. Just me.
I
think the timing was perfect because you wanted to give it that slow burn. Because think about it, if it would have happened right away, as quickly as everybody thought it was going to, it would have been no different than any other Kevin Owens storyline.
I wish that instead of knowing that he was attacked, we would have gotten that whole line of, I don't know who attacked me, and then the actual attack of it. I feel like it was more spoiled by knowing who attacked him. That's me personally, though.
But I also want to point out, there's one thing that they allude to every time. Oh, Owens has betrayed everybody that he's, ever considered, whatever. And there was also the aspect of, he actually liked y'all. He felt y'all betrayed him, which is why he did this. So again, like the storyline isn't a traditional storyline for Kevin Owens.
No. It's not something that's been played over and over again.
And I'm loving it. Because this is what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
We needed something new.
We needed him to be a heel.
Oh, Kevin Owens works great. Too well as a heel.
Alright. Our next match.
The Men's Crown Jewel Championship. Gunther, Cody. Your World Heavyweight Champion, your WWE Champion. Again, Triple H wanting to play. Let's see who can win the most useless award in the world. Going down the middle, or going into our predictions, 4-2, to the surprise of nobody, Hex and Flash are picking Cody Rhodes while everybody else is picking Gunther.
I know, me and you have talked about it. I went back and forth with this before, even putting down my prediction. Which one makes it's not which one makes the better star for me, it's which one has the bigger star power, and that, in ring-wise, is definitely Gunther.
My thing is, the more meaningful world title reign right now is, not your WWE Champion.
And that's really kind of sad, considering everybody wanted it for so long.
Again, most baby faces are good for the chase, not for the success. I just wanted it off of Roman because I wanted to remember what my title looked like.
I mean, that's a fact.
But also, I knew Cody wasn't going to be that guy, and when I said that, you and Flash wanted to rip my head off.
I mean, we wanted him to be the guy, and had it been a shorter title reign than what it currently is, it would have probably been a lot more memorable. But now,
it's gonna be memorable, regardless of how you cut it. It's gonna be memorable, but not for any good reasons.
But now all I see it on my wrestling pages all the time. You went from somebody who helped elevate to somebody that just constantly cries. And it's ridiculous that they have him in this position where all he does is cry about his daddy. Because in other promotions, that wasn't the case. But now this is how you...
But in other promotions, with his EVP power, he booked himself into a very losing situation.
I'm not talking about just that one. I'm talking about any other promotions, since Dusty has passed.
Fair.
They never booked him in the, oh, I'm going to sit here and boo-hoo about my dad dying, and I'm going to do this because it's my dad's honor. No, it was, I'm doing this because I'm Cody Rhodes.
I'm going to point out this, though. In those other promotions, his dad never competed.
No, but still, like, oh, I could win
so
this
there
title
is no,
for my dad.
There is
in
no
honor of my dad.
There is no emotional connection, so it wouldn't have made sense to try to book him in that light anyway. Here, it kind of did make sense for a while, but it got real old real quick.
Mm-hmm. And that's more or less what I'm saying. That's kind of why, I went Gunther in this aspect. Because I'm ready for... I love Cody Rhodes in every way, but I am ready for this title to be off of him.
So, my whole other shtick about this is... who else is in Saudi Arabia right now? Hint, hint, we just talked about him. Who wants his head?
Kevin Owens. There we go. Alright. Last match on the card. Bloodline Civil War. The start of this. The OG Bloodline, which consists of the Usos and Roman Reigns, who have finally now come together. Taking on Bloodline.
At least.
Yeah. Bloodline 2.0. This is going to be, I'm assuming, Solo and the Tongas.
If I'm not mistaken, it's Tama, it's Solo, and it's Jacob.
Okay. I didn't know which...
I could very much be wrong, though.
I didn't know which way we were going with that one. Looking at our predictions, this is another one where we're actually split completely down the middle. Me, Flash, and Cauldron are choosing the OG Bloodline, whereas the rest, you, Desario, and Hex are choosing 2.0. I'm assuming you're going kind of equal to Desario's reasoning on picking 2.0 with this. I'm just going to assume there.
I haven't even read his reasoning, to be honest. I just... the beginning of Bloodline Civil War... Not really the beginning, because anyway. But people would want the OG group to win. It'll be 2.0 that wins. This story is going to continue at least until War Games. There's no reason to have 2.0 lose until that. And I mean, yeah, I can see that. I can actually piggyback off of that. Because, you want to build this group as strongly as possible. It doesn't help that they announced this match way sooner than they wanted. Because the day and age of social media, nothing is a secret. And with last night's SmackDown being pre-taped, everybody already knew they were going to come together. Mm-hmm. OG was going to come together, but I still think there's a lot of tension there that's going to play in factor of, how this is going to work. There's going to be a lot of tension that's eventually going to be what costs them. Plus, you still have Tonga Lola on the outside who is going to run interference. And,
they don't have anybody on OG side.
There's nobody else on the OG side. There is, we still are going to need our 4th and 5th man for Team OG. We're going to need our 5th man for, 2.0 at some point. Oh, yeah, and, it also doesn't help that the final boss is also sitting.
Well,
also landed in Saudi.
Well, there's your number 5 for 2.0.
I don't think he actually gets in the ring at Williams.
You don't think so?
I think he brings somebody else in on his behalf.
And who is that? Who do you think?
I don't know who. I have a feeling he's going to have somebody else in on his behalf. Because let's be real, Rock is getting up there in age. He's not going to be able to handle a War Games match as much as I would love to see it.
Well, I didn't think he'd do as great as he did in his WrestleMania match, but he still did pretty decent for his age.
Yes, but the difference between that is you're not as confined and there's not necessarily as many restrictions, whereas in a War Games match, you were confined to those 2 rings. It's a lot of bodies at one time. Think about it. There's anywhere from 8 to 10 people. Depending on, because we can do the 4v4, we can do the 5v5.
Yeah.
There is a lot less room to move. Whereas that Mania match, they had the entire arena and it was 4 people.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I agree. So, OG side, who do you see coming into this for our War Games?
I still think they somehow magically end up recruiting Sammy.
Okay.
You know, the honorary Uth. But given what happened this past Monday...
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
I was going to say, we watched.
Yeah.
Where, Sammy tried to talk Jay out of it. Jay basically told him, eat shit, you're not family. Jimmy also being on the fence, which is really wild because remember when all of this began.
Jay
was the only one opposed to Sammy joining the Usos. Or joining the Bloodline.
He's not feeling very oozy.
Yes, we got that. It's been 2 years since that promo. But I can also see, they got to the parking lot. They showed Sammy and Solo having a conversation. Please remember that any time Sammy was going to get attacked by pretty much anybody, especially Jay, Solo was the one to play bodyguard. So I also think there might still be a really good relationship there.
Yeah. Well, with that, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Plot twist, 5th member to Bloodline 2.0 ends up being Sammy.
Okay, then who do we put on OG?
Oh, I don't know, because they really did a shit job of making friends. Yeah. Especially together. There is no... I don't think they have a lot of options.
Yeah, no.
Ooh.
Unless they go the route that Roman just recently went and they recuperate the WWE champion into the War Games match.
I don't think so. I think they'll have something else going for Cody by Survivor Series.
I mean, it's still an option, is it not?
A match with Kevin Owens.
Okay, but it's still an option, is it not?
I don't think so. I genuinely don't see it happening. I don't see it as a viable option.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Because I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to wait and see what happens during this this pay-per-view and then what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
So that does conclude the end of Crown Jewel. We hope you guys enjoyed the show per usual. Our recap is going to be coming either tomorrow or Monday in our timeline. So
it'll be soon.
Yes, it'll be relatively soon. It just will not be later tonight as scheduling conflicts happen between Brother Pyro and myself. So, with that being said, anything else, Brother Pyro?
Nope.
All right, guys, enjoy the show. Laters.